Hello everyone out there, this is Doomkid. I'm just here today to talk about how the Earth is flat and not indeed a sphere like we've been brainwashed to believe since we were kids. There's a lot of compelling evidence out there that suggests that Earth is indeed a disk rather than an orb. And I'd just like to get right into that because it is some really interesting and mind-blowing stuff, because I believed for years that Earth was round until I thought about this extremely compelling evidence. So let's just get right into it. Firstly, I want to say that the first piece of evidence here that Earth is flat and not round is when you look at the horizon, it looks flat. Now, we may have satellites that can go into outer space, and we see that as you leave Earth, it becomes a ball. But that's actually a lie. That's a conspiracy and a lie for scientists to make money. That's just all there is to it. There's absolutely no refuting that point whatsoever. Secondly, if Earth was round, if Earth was round, then this water here would be round as well. The top would be round, but it's just like the horizon. It's flat. NASA has openly admitted that they Photoshop the images. And that couldn't possibly just mean little touch-ups of the photos that they've taken. It actually definitely means that they're trying to make money off selling us this round Earth theory, and it does make them loads of money. I mean, I know I've given them a lot of money because Earth is round, and I mean, that's just an irrefutable fact. And really, if you think Earth is round, that just means you're believing in what NASA has told us. And they just want money. And NASA is one of the most highly funded. The government gives NASA exorbitant amounts of money to lie to us, and that's just all there is to it. And NASA definitely isn't making a very, very small amount of money. They're definitely getting a fuckload of money, billions of dollars, and we know this to be true because I read on the internet after a couple hours of Googling that this was true, so therefore it must be. NASA has actually released information that they can't travel more than 2,000 miles away from Earth, but they say that the Earth is 200,000 miles away and that they've landed on it. And I mean, if you don't see the contradiction there, I don't know what to tell you, because if you can only travel 2,000 miles, how can you travel 200,000 miles? It just doesn't add up. Look, you can actually use science to argue against this science, which is that you can look at the data and the numbers and you can see that Earth is flat, and you can observe that, and that's just truth, and we all know that science is truth. And yet these other people who are also scientists are telling us that Earth is round. So we have to use the science of reality against the science of these guys, which is also what they claim to be reality, but really it's just for them to make money. That's what it is. They make loads of money off telling us Earth is round. I need to reiterate that point because it's extremely important here. We actually have definitive proof that Albert Einstein came up with a theory of relativity to make scientists more money, because the science wasn't supporting what the scientists were telling us, so they had to remake the science in a more believable way that also supported their claim. So that was basically like scienceception, you know what I mean? Like they were taking the science and re-scienting it because they were scientists. We also have photographic proof that Earth is flat because people have traveled to the edge of the Earth and taken photos off the edge, because since it's flat, it has an edge. So you can go to the edge of it and take photos and see where there is a drop-off. You can see that water is constantly spilling over the edge, or you can see that it's like a bunch of icy mountains, and it's like, you know, in Skyrim when you're trying to go over a mountain but sometimes you're just blocked, like you cannot get over it, there's an invisible wall. It's like that at the edge of the Earth. So from the icy bits we haven't really got photos of the edge, but we do have photos of like water just spilling sort of endlessly off the edge of the Earth. Like if you zoomed out really far, it would probably look less like a disc and more like a cylinder, because the water just constantly spills off. Because we have a water source in the center of the disc that continually pours out water, like it's a spout. So yeah, it's always spilling over the edges, so it looks kind of more like a cylinder than a disc. But as far as the land is concerned, it's a disc. Look, I really hope you guys enjoyed this presentation of this extremely compelling evidence that totally isn't retarded shit that was come up with by a fucking dumbass.